Why do you always ask? Let me ask you, how was your week, Pixie?
It was pretty good. I've had a lot of fun. I've done a couple of interviews. I'm just rolling out things.
I did notice that. Yeah, you've been on a number of podcasts.
I like being on podcasts. I like talking to people. A lot of people have different opinions. A lot of people are at their different levels of podcasting. And because I've grown so much that I'm starting to help out a lot more podcasters. That
You doing that mom shit again?
I'm known as the fairy pod mother.
Oh, good Lord.
I know. That's not what I call myself. I call myself the social media menace. Because that's what I am.
See, and that's hurting me because I'm the Judd Hirsch. Is it Judd Nelson? No, it's Judd Nelson. I'm that character. You know, I'm the spooky guy in the background. I don't like reach out and talk to everybody all the time. But when I do say something, it means that I actually give a shit for half a second.
And I've been jumping into people's podcasts. I had one friend that I did, and he basically, for 10 minutes, he marched us through his podcast. He took breaks and everything, and he didn't look like he was happy about podcasting. And so after the interview, he's like, "Thank you for this," and he hardly smiled at all. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What's going on with your podcast?" And he's all like, "What do you mean, what's going on with my podcast?" I was like, "It seems like you're not really enjoying what you're doing." And he's like, "You could see that on my face, can't you?" I was like, yeah, I can. So we spent like an hour discussing his podcast and then talking about what he wants to do in the future. And at the end of the hour, he was smiling and talking and having a great time because he understood that podcast that he had been producing for like 2.5 years could end and he could move on to the next project. He was thinking that because he had spent so much time in it, that he had to just keep moving it forward.
Right.
And I was like, no,
sometimes you can just move on to the next thing.
You can close it out and create something new.
Yeah, man.
And now he's got a whole plan for the next podcast. Not only the next podcast, but the follow-up podcast.
I'm glad you're helping people out.
He said
you're cool, man. That's cool.
He said he's never talked to a podcaster and been able to like voice what he's been doing. And so I think that's what we probably should be doing, is talking to podcasters, making sure that the community isn't so lonely.
See, I love that there are people out there like you that are actually really helping people, because there are other people out there that will take advantage of a young man like this and then, and encourage him in certain ways, and then eventually they'll be asking for money from him.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, that's something I would like to see myself in, is a position of counseling and helping. And a little bit of kickback would be nice, but I don't.
Eventually, right? I hear that.
I don't need it, but yeah, being able to give people the tools and the resources without. I don't have no skin in his podcast. I don't really care. I'm just helping out a fellow podcaster, and there are some very professional people out there, and I'm like, okay, well, that. It is what it is. There's always going to be scammers and stuff that come out of the woodworks.
Yeah, the other side of that.
Yeah, there's always that
always
stuff.
Someone else that's kind of like, I'll help you, but I'm just trying to take your money.
Well, we've dealt with scammers in our industry.
Oh yeah.
And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to talk about today.
Cool.
Yeah. My name is Pixie.
And I'm Mr. J.
And you guys are listening to Next on Stage 1.
Denver's best adult nightlife podcast.
Where we have more than 42 years in the industry as adult entertainers.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot, and we've done a lot, and we're just kind of just having so much fun being here and experiencing things.
Every week we come up with something new, so this is a good one. Last week we got into a conversation, and somehow we stumbled upon scammers.
We've known
and we said
scammers.
We have to come back to that conversation. So we said, fuck it, we're going to do it this week, because there are so many scammers in it, especially in the nighttime. That's when sneaky dark shit happens.
Yeah.
under the cover of darkness.
Yeah.
So scammers live there. It's a little bit more prevalent now, especially over the internet. But
Right.
we've dealt with some pretty shady people over the years, and sometimes you have to learn how to sniff those guys out.
And usually it's something you would think that you would know right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, this is a really good deal. This is what's going on. Those kind of things. And you're like, oh, wait, what? Well, what if it's not right? What if it's not true? It's like the $100 bill story that I told when I was working at the hotel.
Yeah.
I got really
Right.
excited about a $100 bill that happened to be fake, and so
Fake.
a fake, and I should have known better because I handle money all of the time.
Right.
I mean, I should be able to spot a fake right across the room.
It's sad that we have to base our day on money, but the real world is, unfortunately, we live in a society where a lot of that shit's based on money. So when you see, good things happen to you in the form of money, you're happy. And then when you find out that it's bullshit, that just fuck up your day.
Yeah. A lot of us, we live dollar to dollar. We're not living paycheck
totally.
to paycheck.
Right.
We're kind of when we
Yeah,
were
strippers, totally.
When I was younger, I didn't spend my money accordingly. I was living fast and doing what I wanted to do.
I did too.
I was paying bills. I was able to buy whatever I wanted with my cold hard cash.
I paid the bills by the time the third notice came, and they said we're going to take it away or turn it off,
Right.
But yeah, we lived fast and hard. We made our money. We spent our money. That's how we lived.
And so when you got scammed really. Yeah. It hurt. It hurt a lot.
So we know a little bit about scamming. I can tell you from a personal perspective as a private party manager or owner of a business that supplied male and female dancers for your personal birthday or bachelor party entertainment. Naked people coming there to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We've had a number of people, at least back in the day before we had, caller IDs, things have changed so much.
Things have changed. I mean, we're talking 2004, 2005, not everybody had a cell phone on them. And if you did, sometimes it was a burner phone. We had flip phones in the industry.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things anonymously.
We had a hard line, that kind of stuff. Our phone, the only way you could really reach us was a phone number.
Wow, the world has changed, man. Fuck.
In the phone book. That's how you could find us. Because any real good business had a solid number, and it was in the phone book.
Yeah. So being in the phone book, you are susceptible to practical jokes and pranks by, kids and whatever. And we were susceptible to a lot of that bullshit. I never got mad about it because I felt as though we were kind of like Pizza Hut. We deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you got to eat one. So one of the scams that was prevalent back in the day was something that those of us in the industry call Bogus Runs. We had to flip it on its ear years later. We had to really, because it was a pain in the ass for a minute, where we started actually going out to party locations before the party to verify it's an actual place before we sent people out there, because people would call you up and say, hey, we'd like to order a pizza.
Yeah.
We'd like to order a girl.
I'd like to order a stripper.
Right, and they give you a bullshit address, and half an hour later you're out in the middle on the sticks and there's nothing there.
And we didn't have GPS. We had Google Maps. Well, we didn't even have Google Maps. We had, what was it called?
We had Google Maps, but what's not as fast
we had MapQuest.
as it was MapQuest.
And you had to go and you had to.
You were dating the fuck out of us.
I'm old. You had to print out your address, and some of those were.
You printed it up on a printer.
We were going anywhere from local to up to 45 minutes of a drive just to get to wherever we're going.
Right.
Because we served the Denver metro area, and that could take
surrounding counties.
Yeah, that could take a girl off.
But we weren't the only ones that were affected by this, and you're absolutely right. It takes a girl off the map for a good hour and a half while she's trying to find a location where she could have been doing another party somewhere else.
Right.
But we weren't the only ones. That company, our company, wasn't the only one that was affected by that. Everybody was going through that for a while. So, Bogus Runs is a scam. It costs you money. It's just people having fun. And I guess you find it on the internet too. People that are just full of shit.
It still happens today. It's one of those forever things. Somebody thinks they're funny, or you know, it could. We sometimes thought it was another company sending us on Bogus Runs.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
we did. We thought it was like, oh, they're. If they could tie us up in Bogus Runs, then they could pick up the slack.
Right.
And so we had a lot of things in place. We asked a lot of different questions. We did pre-runs beforehand. You know, a lot of that.
We had to tighten it up.
Yeah. You had to have.
We actually between companies, we started to share information. We had a link to a particular website page that only we knew the address for, and we had a list of phone numbers and possible clientele that were assholes.
Yeah. Because you didn't want to go out to these places if they weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sucks because you're wasting gas, time, power, you know, all kinds of different things that, like you were saying, it could have been done if we did our due diligence. One of our due diligence was to get a proper callback number. Yeah. And we would call them back before we went to the party. Yeah. And if you didn't answer, we were so laxed on it. We
were very lax for a long time, but as the years progressed, we had to start making things more stringent. Because people just had to... It's fucked up you have to do that to a client, too. We need all this information from you before we can even make sure we guarantee
Well, we weren't collecting money.
No.
That was one of your rules, is that we want to make sure that we're not going to charge them ahead of time for our entertainment. Right. We wanted to, and the trade-off was to get more information. You either get more information or you hold them to the fire with cash. Right. Because if they have a skin in the game, they're probably not going to cancel, and it's probably not going to be fake.
And you hate to have to do that to your customers, but here's the thing, you know, you get there are customers that will basically fuck you. Yeah. You know, of the money you could possibly be making. I've seen, when it comes to scamming, tip stealers in the private party arena and on stage arena.
Oh yeah, I've seen customers tip a dancer, get a lap dance, and steal the money. Like she'll put the 20 in her thong instead of putting it in her wallet. She'll do a whole dance for the guy, and he'll steal the 20 back from her, and then it looks like she lost it. And I've known customers. It's usually younger cats, usually guys who are they're usually working the system. They're going to go in. They're going to buy that first lap dance. And then she's going to be like, wow, I got a guy who's going to give me a whole
he's hooked. He's hooked. Totally.
Yeah. And so instead, he'll buy the first lap dance, and then she'll rope him into 2 other lap dances and then say, oh, shit, I need to go to the ATM and I need to go get some money. Well, the dumb strippers won't follow the guy to the ATM, and he'll just walk right out the door. Yep. And so
it's kind of fucked up, right?
It's fucked up because then she got scammed for her 2 lap dances because she might have. All kinds of things could happen.
Now, what are the consequences of that when it comes to the stripper?
She has to tell the doorman or she has to tell the DJ that she didn't get paid on that. Okay. Because the DJ thinks she's done 3 lap dances. Well, I get a little bit of that money.
And doesn't the club get some money too?
Not my club. Some clubs do.
Yeah, because I think some clubs are like if you do a lap dance, you have to give them half the money. You know, the tips are yours, but half the cost of the lap dance.
Or whatever the agreement is between the dancer and the club. Each club is different. You know, there's not really a set, hard, fast rule sometimes. Some people are charging more money for their lap dances than others. And that also, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
When it comes to the girl, do you feel as though that's a scam, that some girls are in a club and when they're talking to a customer, now let's just say the club says $20 a lap dance,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
But this dancer says, I feel as though I should be making $50 a lap
Well, she can
dance.
charge whatever she wants above the 20.
Okay. As long as the
the
club gets their
the club
clear
isn't really
percentage,
going to
right?
know what she's charging
Hmm.
because it's an honor-based system. But I've known dancers to do $10.
The clubs trust y'all like that?
Yes.
Really?
I've known dancers to do $10 lap dances.
Okay.
And that causes a shitstorm because she's doing a lap dance
No, I get you.
for $10.
No,
so she's
and explain that to them. She's undercutting the other girls.
She's undercutting everybody else. Instead of it being an even platform, $20, $20, $20.
Right.
She's doing $10 lap dances. So it looks like she's more busy than everybody else.
But she's not.
But she's not.
She's just cheap.
Or she's hustling harder.
She's not Guinness. She's beer.
Yeah. She's not really getting much more. She's just doing more work for the same amount of money.
I got you.
And so it looks like she's busier. It looks like she's doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Do you feel as though that's scammy?
I do feel like it's scammy in a way because, I mean, if you have to undervalue yourself to make money,
Right.
I mean, you know, sometimes.
But on the other end, if a bitch, excuse me, I don't give a fuck. Okay, if a bitch is charging $50 a lap dance because she thinks her pussy does not stink, it's golden.
Well,
What do you think about that?
for me, if you're comfortable charging that much for your lap dances, sure. But there's a lot of guys that they like a good bargain. They like a good deal.
Yeah, but there are a lot of stupid guys
There
too
are a
that
lot of
feel
stupid
as
guys.
though if they're spending $50, they're going to get more because, well, you're spending $50.
Well, in my club, there's really it's so open, and so everybody's watching.
Okay.
So it's a little different. Good on you if you can get $50 out of a customer for a lap dance.
Yeah.
What-
No, for real though.
For real. I mean, it is what it is. People will understand when they start asking you, how much do you charge for a lap dance? And if he's with a whole bunch of his buddies, and they start telling, well, she's doing $50 lap dances, and you get one of the other girls goes, well, I do lap dances for $20. They're probably going to go to the cheaper girl.
Okay.
You can have value and charge $50, but you have to be like on your game. You have
All the time.
all of the time, because at that price point, you're trying to bring together a higher quality of service.
Okay, now not to besmirch you
No,
at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many clubs have you worked in? You've worked in
Let's
your
see.
club.
My club. The club down the street, the club up the street.
That's two.
Then Shotgun Willie's, and then another one, and then your private party.
Okay, got
and
you.
And then the other private party.
Okay.
So you
All
know,
right.
just a handful.
So you haven't been in because once again, not tripping. I've been in a number of different clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and some clubs are a little bit glitzier than other clubs.
Right, they're higher class.
I love your club because yes, it's cheers for booze.
It is.
Okay,
It is.
But if I were to go to the club off of our State Boulevard,
Yes.
okay, and I'm not talking about Shotgun Willie's, the one behind that.
Yes.
That's one of the premier clubs when it comes to
Right.
the corporation. They've got a huge fucking pole, okay, and bitches do weird shit up there.
Oh, they're
okay?
talented. Yeah.
Some of those ladies are going to say, because I'm this high class, you need to give me $50 per lap dance.
And that's an agreement between two people.
Okay.
You know,
You don't feel that scammy at all?
not really. I feel like if people are going to pay, they're going to pay.
Okay.
I mean, for me,
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No,
I'm not.
No, you're fine. It's like when you had your private company.
Yes.
We had quality girls at a quality price, and then people would call up all of the time asking for a discount because another club or another company had their own price point.
Yes.
And we would say, well, the reason why you are calling us up is
It's
because
for the quality.
you're going to get the exact dancer that is shown on our website.
Bait and switch. Oh, very good. Yes. Scammy.
Yes. Scammy.
Bait and switch is a son of a bitch, and I hate it.
So I think that if you're in a club and that you have that price point and you can command that price point, that's fine. Know your worth, own your worth, and be what you are.
But the reality is that some people can't be what they feel they are because they're just not that. Okay?
Well, yeah.
Look,
I understand.
I am a dancer that's been in the industry for years. I know a lot of shit. I've had a lot of fun doing what I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say to you that I've ever been Chippendales quality. Please.
No.
I'm
not even top tier in my club.
I've been in small local bars.
Mm-hmm.
I've had within the small town of Denver. Back in the day, people knew who I was. I was one of the few black guys that did this. So we know who he is. We know who Silk is. We know who KC. Those in the Denver area, there are a bunch of ladies right now going, Silk. That was one of the sexiest dudes in the game. So, I'm not trying to say that I know it all,
Right.
but
there is a price point that certain
comes with quality.
Right. And so I'm not going to trip on somebody who get your money, boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
Make your money.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you can. Make sure it's quality and that you're respecting yourself. But if you're undercutting your money and you're undercutting the other people that work around you, it's supposed to be a level playing field. And you're undercutting other people just to make the bare minimum. That's where I see the problem at. It's like going to Colfax for that kind of entertainment.
Yes.
So you're undercutting.
You understand what the price point would be if you had to stoop down to do that.
Right. And so it varies between industry and
so
price point.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
that's so interesting.
I mean, if it's going to be good quality, you expect a good price. So that's why when you had your business, we made sure that each of the girls had their own page, that they had their own headshots, that you could guarantee that the girl that's showing up on the door was the girl.
Well, there's a level, and it's really funny because there's just a difference there. Our company was a company of integrity.
Right.
I've always felt as though if you walk into McDonald's and you order a Big Mac, don't hand me a Whopper.
Right.
Didn't ask for a Whopper.
It's always the same.
Where's my special sauce? Where's my 2 all-beef patty special sauce? Cheese? Lettuce cheese, right? Where is that?
And a sesame seed bun, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I've always felt as though the bait and switch is because companies are really notorious for doing this. Sometimes they'll put up their best girls or even their previous best girls. Mm-hmm. Girls that are not even with the company anymore, but those pictures still belong to the company, and they'll put those up on the website saying, this is what you can expect.
Right. And
when you order from us.
Advertising. Yeah. And like my club has when they switched over, they did the renovation and everything. They added this big, beautiful banner that says the name of the club, and then they have this beautiful blonde perky tits, and she's like, yes, and she has never stepped a foot inside the club.
And none of them bitches look like that.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah. So,
unless you're going to top tier where they spend money to get you in the door.
Right. And a lot of that is false advertising. A lot of that is like, okay, well, I want this girl that's on this picture.
Yes.
So that bait and switch is really scammy.
Okay.
And it happens, like it still happens.
Oh yeah.
It still happens.
And it's terrible on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay? I fucking hate the internet. I fucking hate it, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
All right. So I did a little bit of research today on the Rocky Mountain Oyster. I wanted to see if I could find any of the old stuff.
Yeah.
Turns out there is a website called RockyMountainOyster.com. It is based here in Denver, but its origins are completely different from the Rocky Mountain Oyster that I know. That was the adult magazine. It's very hard to find the information on this place, So Rocky Mountain Oyster, at least when you saw advertisements and you called up the ones in that magazine, you knew the companies that were there and they had a bit of longevity. If they've been around for a long time, you trusted them. If they weren't around for a long time, you could discern which company was reputable and which company wasn't. But with the advent of the internet, and everybody is doing this, it's become a little bit more saturated. And hard to differentiate what's the scammy ones and what are the real ones.
So what are the scammy ones? Can you elaborate on that? Like we grew up.
Yeah.
We were in business during the days of Backpage, during the days of Craigslist when they had their adults. You had to sign in.
Craigslist was the beginning of all this shit.
Well, I don't know. I think the internet was the beginning of all this shit.
Go on.
So then you wanted to make sure that once you logged into Craigslist and you wanted to go into the back dark seedy web of it, you were bombarded by beautiful ladies and clickbaity titles. And how did you discern between a real girl and somebody who was fake?
See, it was a much smaller thing.
Much smaller.
Back. It was smaller.
Yeah.
Back in maybe 10, 15. You know what I mean? Bare bodies. Hard bodies. Your call. Oh, wow, I'm really digging deep on some of these.
Yeah, you are.
But the thing is, these companies were spending money to get your business, Obviously, and the cops were watching all of us. Every one of us. So the ones that were surviving and still advertising, were reputable. Okay?
Right.
But now, everybody's doing this. And let me draw your attention to this. I went to another one of those really fun websites. So if you want a girl to come by and pay some attention to you, this is where you find them.
Okay. So do you think there's bots? Because that's one of those scammy things that happens.
Yeah.
There's bots, which are not real people. They're just auto-generated with pictures that they stole off the internet.
Yep.
With a fake phone number, fake address, that kind of stuff. Then you have fly-by-night girls that are just coming in from everywhere trying to make a couple of bucks. You have the girls that are working in the clubs.
Yep.
And then they're also moonlighting.
So is the website scammy? Because some of the girls are real.
Some of the times the website is scammy.
Yeah. Or are the girls scammy? All right.
Could it be both?
But let me start with the first page. Now, I can't show you this because we're on YouTube. And YouTube is asshole. But take a look at the first pictures that come up. Now, we've got a very beautiful Asian lady.
Yes, with big boobs.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, keep scrolling. If you continue to scroll, you'll see the same type of Asian lady. Okay.
Right.
Now, this is already a red flag on this website.
Well, I can already tell you that these girls are not real.
No.
These girls, these are images that have been done.
Yep.
They're stolen someplace else. They're probably stolen offline.
And Chinese massage parlors are notorious for doing this.
Also, they have...
This is scammy.
Also, their phone numbers are not right.
Yeah.
So they have phone numbers across. This girl's probably real. This one right here. This one's real.
Take a look back.
That girl's real.
Okay.
So, and you can kind of tell which one's a real girl versus
really wish we could show you all these things. I wish I could give you a link so you can look at this while we're talking about it.
We could describe it to them. Yeah.
The difference between real girls and fake girls is these look like they were self-made. They look
Quality
like
of photos.
Yeah, it's really shitty.
I know, but
she gets the point across.
But that's really what it is that you want to make sure that there's authenticity in the photos.
Yeah.
The photos should not be completely polished. It
but when you open it up, this is funny, okay?
Yeah.
Because when we take a look at the pictures, we see it's kind of tame. We see it's actually it's very, very plausible. But read the title.
So the title says, "My balls are extremely heavy today."
Okay.
So
it's too explicit.
It is very explicit.
Okay.
It's way. Okay.
Red flag.
It's red flag.
It's scammy. That's a scam right there.
It's too much. And back in the day.
Oh no, this is a scam.
I know, but back in the day, in the dark web,
Yes.
we could not post anything like that because we had to be up and up. It would get red flagged immediately if you posted anything explicit like that.
Oh, you can do anything now.
Well, yeah, but back in the day, I'm talking 2004, 2005, you had to be discreet with what your words were. You had to float that line. And if you were explicit, your post would get taken down.
Oh, now, this young lady right here, I'm not going to say young lady, the one with the tattoos right there?
Yeah.
She's probably real.
Why?
Because she looks busted as fuck. No, but she does. She does. She looks like she's the type that would be doing that.
Well,
you know what she offers. Look at her.
I
Pixie.
do know what she offers.
Thank you.
So what I'm trying to say is what I've been trying to say.
You're so nice.
I am. Is that there was a level of quality that we brought to it.
Yes.
You spent a lot of money on proper photos for each of the girls.
Yes.
Everybody that came to the company had to go through training.
Right.
Every girl had to be chaperoned by another girl. Every girl was under different parameters every step of the way because we had a certain kind of quality that we didn't want to scam or make it appear that we were scamming our customers.
I treat what I do like
Seriously.
any other job, okay?
Yeah.
I don't fuck people.
Yeah.
Okay? Informed consent. This is what we do. If you want to learn, if you want to come and be an apprentice with us, because we're seasoned, we've been doing this for a while, we've been shaking our ass for a long time.
Yeah.
If you want to come on board and learn how to make some money, because your ass is just a little bit more fresh than mine is, you know? Yeah. I'm going to take you on that journey. Let's make money together.
Right.
You know?
And we didn't want to scam anybody. We
never did.
We had a name and a reputation to uphold. So when it came to scams, like we had things that we were back in the day when checks were still prevalent. Yeah. And that was one of those scams that happened. And people don't write checks anymore.
Do kids know what the fuck a check is now?
Yes, I'm going to say that the people...
I don't
People
know.
that are listening to this podcast...
Yes.
Know what checks are.
I'm hoping so. I was speaking to a colleague the other day, and he was talking about his kids, and they don't know how to sign their name. And I jokingly said, well, that's going to be the secret language between us Gen Xers. You know, if the shit hits the fan, cursive. I'll be all right. Yeah, cursive.
Cursive.
Here you go. Pass that on. Fuckers. You know what I mean? But that was fucked up. Oh, so fucking wrong.
And one of those things is that in the beginning it was fine.
Yes.
We would take checks occasionally, but then if we got zinged, that person's name got added to the list.
It wasn't just that. At a time, we had a big gorilla fucker that went to go get our money.
You're talking the
this
doorman.
Was years before.
You're talking like a Steve.
Oh no! Well, yeah, okay.
You're
allegedly.
talking like a Steve, like a big old dude just to go in and.
We had this big white dude that we sent out to politely talk to people when they bounce checks with us. We're gonna cut through the middleman. We don't want to go through all that bullshit. Can we just knock on your door and go, hey, this check you gave us is bullshit. Do you have anything that you can do for us today? Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't say it's strong arming. It wasn't strong arming. It was just presenting an option. You know, hey, could you pay this? That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah.
But there's a difference between me asking for the money and
like
that
Steve asking for the money. Yeah. You know, and then those people got added to a list. If they couldn't pay, well, then our services are no longer provided to you.
The companies got real good at catching on to that kind of shit, and that's why we had to cut down on checks.
Well, eventually it just became cash only.
I want to be able to trust everybody, but there are just too many assholes out there that will scam you and not give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
and you just need one guy to fuck up your night.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of there's like real world scams where
Yep.
somebody pays you with a check and then you take that check over and you being naive about all of it, and you put that check into your bank account, and then it bounces.
Yeah.
You know,
you
or
remember back in the day when you get the email from Prince Akbar?
yeah, oh
Say,
yeah,
hey, I'm a long lost distant cousin.
Yeah.
If you will just present this check to your bank, I will give you $75,000.
Millions.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here,
Millions.
man. I'm no.
and you know, so
That's racist as fuck, isn't it? That's so racist, Pixie. I'm gonna get canceled. It's gonna happen.
Jay,
No, I'm sorry. I fucked up your whole.
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Ladies and gentlemen, send all hate mail to.
Look, don't fuck people.
Yeah, don't, you know, it doesn't take much just to be a good person.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to present an industry or a product on its face and be honest about it.
But this industry has never been about that because we're underneath. Normies don't know about this shit.
You can
So
still have a good, clean
I hear you.
industry.
But you have to be smart wading through it because other fuckers will take advantage of
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Just being naive, you know.
There was a time there where I was dating Kylie, and Kylie was working over at one of the bigger known clubs, and she used to have so-called photographers ask her if she could do photo shoots for them, and she needed the extra money, so she did from time to time.
yeah.
But was Kylie stupid?
No.
Fuck no. Kylie said, hey, boyfriend Jay, can you come with me to these places? Now,
Right.
I'm a photographer myself, okay? I've had girls bring their boyfriends with, and as long as you don't get in my way, be there.
We always told the girls, if you're going to do meet X, Y, and Z and get paid for photography,
Take someone with you. Because a real photographer is going to be okay with that because U.S. security keep your ass out of the shot. Yeah. And if you're, and it's been presented before where a photographer has said, well, we're going to go into the other room. That's where the studio is. Well, you sit out here. I'm like, no, I'm going where she goes.
Right.
And he's like, well, I don't think she'll be comfortable. I mean, my girlfriend is a fucking professional. She's not going to be worried about me. She's already talked about what's going to happen back here, okay? Yeah. The only reason you want to come back into a closed environment is because you're trying to talk her into extra shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hang out with y'all. I'm going to be back here. And don't be pussies, y'all. If you're dating a stripper, don't let this happen to you. These fuckers are slick, okay? That kind of shit happens in the game. You have to worry about scammers that pull stuff like that.
And sometimes those guys, they're either scamming because they want extra, or they're scamming to get
half the time
get free pictures. They'll
free pictures.
We're doing this for
pussy.
trade. Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but yes, pussy has been given in some of these situations.
Yeah.
Not my people.
Not mine.
Because if I'm dating you, you know the rules.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of different kind of scammers, and that's just another type of scammer because they'll talk you up. Oh, I'm gonna make sure you make a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Make sure that I make you famous.
Yep.
And I've known girls
that get you hurt.
I've known girls to fly out to California to be on the casting couch and not make it because they flew out there and it's not. They just dropped everything to fly out there because they thought, oh, I'm going to be famous.
Right.
So when they get there, there is no casting couch. There is nothing. There's just a dude with a skeezy camera.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And now you just left everybody.
And he's already got his business going. So your shit is just a part of all the shit that he's putting out there. Okay. Yeah. So he's already making money. You've sold your shit for a little bit of money.
Yep, and then he owns the rights to the pictures that he's taken, the rights to the video that he's taken. Even though it's a picture of you, you've already signed the contract before you flew out there.
Yeah.
So you're screwed. So,
you ever hear, that's funny. You ever hear of the Scammy? There's a website called the Backroom Casting Couch, Porn Stash. I know you know who the fuck they are. You're sick. Now, the Backroom Casting Couch is a supposed this guy puts out advertising saying that come on down if you're a stripper or a model for photo shoots or X, Y, and Z. I'm going to set things up with you. We're going to see if you're the next Cindy Crawford, if that's even relevant anymore. So the girl gets there. She talks to him for half a moment. He starts kind of sprinkling sexual. I'm not sure if you're going to be good for this, but I can make you this. Do you want to make this? You want to make this kind of money? Well, now that we're going to be doing this, everything that I'm doing on the camera is an audition. So from the moment you walk in the door, we're going to be sending this footage off to bigger wigs, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you money to come and do this. Follow me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if these videos are legit or not, okay? Because I don't think you can really get away with actually doing a sex tape with someone without them signing something saying I was in sound mind and I wasn't doing drugs. And I made this decision to do that because his whole context is he's tricking girls. There's no modeling job. He's just tricking the normal average everyday woman into fucking him, okay? Now, these people do exist, okay? Playboy does happen. I've known 1 or 2 girls that have done Playboy video or Playboy shoots.
Right.
But most people that approach you and say, I can do this for you, I'm not those people.
No.
And you can get talked into a lot of shit. That's the scamming.
That's a big scammy. Yeah, that's
when
huge.
it comes to this industry.
Yeah. And it's heartbreaking because unless you know somebody who's been in it and can tell you a cautionary tale and kind of warn you about the signs that you need to look for, you just fall into that kind of trap. A lot of us, especially us dancers, we're looking for things like easy money. We're looking.
Oh yeah.
We're looking for what can I do
Why
right
do we
now?
do what we do?
Because
it's easy money.
Because it's easy money.
Man, people hand us money to
All
just
the time.
take off our clothes.
Yeah. So what's say a camera? I just want a little bit more money.
Right. So, but it's informed consent. Now, I don't mind if 2 parties get together and they talk about what's going to happen beforehand. I'm going to pay for this, and we're going to keep this on the down low. I mean, I talked about, okay?
Consent. It's key. It's key.
It's between you and him or him and her, all that bullshit. You do what you do, boo-boo, okay?
Yeah.
But when you are trying to scam people, I've known guys that have done this. I actually had a business partner that wanted to do that wanted to do quote-unquote auditions for porn. We're not guaranteeing you a job. We're just saying, hey, we're going to audition you on camera, and maybe you'll make some work, maybe you won't.
Right.
Okay? That's scamming.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Because then you're preying upon somebody young in the industry.
Yeah.
And most of the time it is somebody young.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the younger ones are easier. They're stupid. I'm sorry.
No, he's not. It's the naivety of somebody not being there to guide you and tell you what's going on.
Baby strippers.
Baby strippers. We all were there at once. We've all been fooled at least once, probably 3 times, you know? And it sucks that it happens, but if you kind of remember the old saying that if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
You know what? That's honestly it.
Yeah.
If it's too good to be true,
you're
gonna get fucked.
Now,
nothing's free.
Now
nothing's free.
There's still scams, there's new scams popping up every day, but it's the same scam reworked.
Yeah.
Like if you typed in sugar daddy as a hashtag, or you just typed it in on Twitter, there are people out there with accounts that promise the world. They promise you that they're going to be your sugar daddy.
You're right.
Now, I've had a real sugar daddy in life, and I made some good money and created a friendship with it. Those kind of things. Then you get, we're now a society that does all of our stuff online with the fans only and stuff.
Right. How do you feel about that?
About the scamming or
No, because I don't want to deviate.
Nope,
we're
not
doing
deviating.
really
We're
good right
scamming.
now. But how do you feel about this online shit? The online takes the impersonal out, and it's much easier to scam you. I can be a dude and take pictures of a female, put it up and say, I'm Sexy Shirley from New Jersey, and you don't know.
You don't have no idea.
You don't know
who's behind that avatar.
Yes.
You have no idea, and it does. It takes away the personal. It takes away a lot of things, and those scams happen all the time. People are looking like us. We're looking for that easier way to make the money.
Man, but that's bullshit, though.
It is
you
bullshit,
know, you gotta. Even in the things that we do, at least we're putting a little bit of work and effort into it. You know.
I think it still goes back to, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And you kind of have to understand who that person is that you're talking to. It could be somebody catfishing you. It could be somebody trying to get your bank information.
Yeah.
It's totally scammy. And you got to watch out for that, because I used to get sugar daddies all the time in my inbox until I locked everything down.
But you actually had things that worked out for you. You had that one guy that was, paying for videos of your underhair?
Yeah, well, that was back in the day, yeah. And so at first I was like, nobody's going to want to pay for
that's what I would have said.
My armpits. Nobody's going to want to pay for that kind of content. But it was coming through the website where I was posting my images and stuff. So it wasn't like it was somebody found on Backpage. It wasn't like I stumbled across it. They came to me to my website.
I get that. But see, the thing is, because we know that these extremes in sexuality exists, we have to make a lot more allowances, you know? Weird shit that's presented to the norm, you go, that doesn't happen.
Right.
But those of us that have been in the industry for a long time, we say, oh yeah, people do that.
Okay.
You know, and they'll pay good money for that too.
Well, like we were talking about the farts in the jar.
Yeah.
You know, people will pay for any. There are legitimate things out there.
Yeah.
That you think might be scammy, and they're not.
Right. You really have to tread cautiously in the industry, especially for sex workers, because we understand there's so many options available. So we have to sift through, because out of the 50 people that ask for weird shit, 10 of them are serious.
Yeah. You gotta get a lot of no's to get a yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how new you are or how popular you are. It happens all of the time to everybody. It happens in all kinds of different industries. It might just be a little easier to prey upon adult entertainers, because they are looking for that kind of stuff.
Right. We make more allowances.
It's not a blight on us. We just need to be smarter about how we conduct business.
Well, the seasoned ones of us, we don't get tripped up.
Well, when I started in fans only.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make my headway through that first month that I was doing it. There was a lot of scammers out there. There's people asking, I'll promote your stuff. I can do this for you. I can do this for you.
Me too, with the podcast.
We do, yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's just a different rewording of what's going on.
Yeah.
So you'll see that all of the time.
Oh, that's so fucking annoying.
It really
Promote this on.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I ask you to help me.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things that there's not a lot of resources out there to let people know that, no, you shouldn't be giving this person money, because they're just going to scam you out of your stuff.
If it's too good to be true.
It probably is. You're right.
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
Okay, so I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm glad that we brought this up today, because I this kind of shit pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new scam that maybe you don't know about, because you don't keep an eye. Well, I shouldn't keep an eye on this stuff anymore.
Just say it.
But I'm still a little sick. All right, so
what's the new scam?
All right, there's a new scam app that uses the Cash apps and the Access Money Now apps for pre-bookings. Okay, so when you go to escort sites like, say, it's research. Okay,
Research.
It's total
research.
Fuck you, Pixie.
Research.
All right, it's research. So when you go to websites like Escort Alligator or let's say Erotic Monkey,
Okay.
you've got these bots where the ad is obvious. It's absolutely obvious that it's bullshit because the girl is offering way too much in the ad.
Yeah, yeah.
A girl that is seasoned is not offering that much. She knows what to say when the parameters of the law.
Right.
So these ads bend way, way over here. So when you contact these ads, they say to you, "Where are you at?" And you say, "This is where I'm at."
Denver, Colorado.
She says to you, "Hey, this is my address, but before I can pre-book you, why don't you send me $50 so I'm making sure that you're real and you really want to do this. $50 on my Cash app, and I'll give you the exact address, or I'll pre-book it." Now, I played around with one of these. It was actually kind of funny because no one comes up to where I live. It's seriously in the fucking sticks.
You're in the boonies. Yeah.
I'm way the fuck out here. No one else, and especially black people. Ain't no black people up here. There are a few of us. So I tested one of these things out, and it gave me the address. I didn't send it any money. Of course not.
Right.
But it sent me the address, and then I researched the address.
Right.
On DuckDuckGo. And it turned out it was a house that was for sale.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's a pre-booking where they say to you, in order to verify you're not the law enforcement or you're a real person, you need to send me money. And then as soon as you send the money, you never hear back from them.
Right. That's an easy $50 for a bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And think about how many people they get per day.
All the time. A fool in his money
Fucked
is
up, right?
soon parted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a predatory nature that somebody else is doing.
Just
It's fucked up.
Sometimes
It's
I hate
fucked up.
this industry.
And were you able to play with the bot or say anything?
No,
else?
and I tried to guilt the bot. That was the thing, and that's
Are you dating bots now?
No. But I love fucking with shit. I used to take apart stuff when I was a kid, so I love taking apart things that seem organized to me. So when it's talking to me, it always came back to, "Come on, sweetie, just send me blah 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 blah." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna." So I'm sending back things to her. "Now, before I do this, I've been burned before. My heart is broken. You must prove to me send me a picture of you right now doing this. Just to verify who you are."
Right.
And I will sometimes get a stock photo of her bending over, and everything hanging out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So once again, it's to bring you in, but it's not really verifying that it's a real person. It's designed to get you in and keep you in, but will not go on specifics.
So what would you do saying somebody who does want to partake in that particular part of the action? Like if they want to get somebody, where would you tell somebody to go to get an entertainer, to get a stripper?
Honestly,
because it seems
I know
real
we
scammy.
deviated a little bit, but if you want to keep legally, I'm not going to say lawfully, because it's a difference, okay?
Yeah.
Legally, man, Denver dog, because it's just not illegal. It's whatever you're doing with an inanimate object is your fucking business, and there are no laws against it. But when it comes to the industry itself, that's a different animal.
It is. So yeah, Denver Doll is a great opportunity for people who want to experience that thing.
I know we plugging the fuck out of them all the time.
I love Brian from Denver Doll.
Yeah.
I do. I think that company is awesome, and I don't know if I told you guys this last week, but I said Big D, if he wanted, he can partake in the pleasure that is the plastic.
Oh, whatever. And because I looked him straight in his face and I was like, "Really, dog?" "Oh, yeah."
Yeah.
Well, okay, I get you. Okay. I can't get mad,
Just
Weird.
if you are going to be partaking in that nightlife, either side, girl or guy, Patreon.
You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient in this.
You've got to be able to do your research, know who you're
Yeah, you gotta
talking
be smart.
to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not a scam on the other end. Sometimes it's law enforcement.
Man, sometimes
And
it's
that's not a
really
scam.
good. Sometimes it's a really, really good customer that because his preference is so specific that if you do that for him, he's paying you mad money.
Yeah.
So you gotta be smart.
Yeah, you don't want to burn your bridges before it happens, but you also want to go in informed and really make sure that you're going in with a clear head, that you're taking the precautions of taking somebody with you, that you're
talked about a couple of good things.
You're checking your money, you're making sure that everything is safe on both sides. Because if you're a client and your money is your time.
Yeah.
You want good quality service for what you're going to be paying out for.
Right. If they're asking for something and he or she is providing it, you want bang for your buck.
And sometimes you're just going to have to face the music and go in and just see entertainers in their native habitat. And you won't be able to get like the personal one-on-one stuff that we did or the private party in your house.
Sometimes you can, Pixie.
Well, sometimes you can, but
you can't be fucking around with that.
No.
Yeah,
because
if you don't know how to tread those waters, you can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to go in guns blazing and get something wrong.
And I'm not trying.
Or get scammed.
I'm really not. The water is murky.
It is.
Over here in adult entertainment, it's murky. It's always been. And you have to tread a fine line. The customers know that. The entertainers know that. Some entertainers do this. Some customers do that.
Right.
And you got to find what fits.
Yep.
And scammies, part of that.
Scammers gonna scam.
Yeah.
And
but they're everywhere.
Well, yeah.
They're everywhere. I noticed them in the restaurants too.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever worked a restaurant?
The dine and ditch and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I get a better one.
Yeah.
I get a better one.
What do you got?
You ever heard of the quick change artist?
No.
Oh, these guys were good back in the day. Now, I'm a practice person with money. I'm meticulous about money,
Yeah.
It doesn't leave my sight until I paid you out, and then I figure out my shit, and then it goes where it needs to go. But a lot of people weren't trained that way. So a practice quick change artist is someone that will come in looking for change and ask you for a specific
when I was a waitress at my club, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like,
so during the process, if you exchanging change, it says, hold on, wait a minute. I don't need a 5, I need 1s. Can you do this for me? And you go, okay. And your process changes. And he switches it up a couple more times during your process of exchanging certain bills.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it,
yeah.
but during the denominations of money, while you're doing this 3 processes at once, he's fucking with your money and actually getting more change back than he initially presented to you. He's walking away from you with more money.
Sometimes it happened where you would give the customers change back. You're giving him the drink, you're taking the money, you exchange, you give him his money, and then 30 minutes later he's trying to track you down because he thinks you didn't pay. We always paid once we gave the drink.
Right.
We pay for the drink first, we bring it to the customer, we get our change back from the bar, we count them out. And then he'd come back and he'd be like, "Hey, you didn't pay me."
Right.
I was like, "Yeah."
No, I did.
Yeah, I did pay you. And then they would either ask you, I paid with a $50, $100 bill, and you would bring out, because everybody had their own bank, so you bring out your bank and you would show them that you didn't have that $100 bill.
Right.
That you didn't have a $50 bill.
Which is a waste of your time because you could be taking care of other customers. But now you got to verify some bullshit with him.
Right. But then you find out that it wasn't you that was scamming.
Oh.
You would find out that it was a waitress who was skimming off the top, and she had brought drinks over to him previously, and you're not the waitress. Well, he's already drunk because he's already drank those drinks.
Oh, the hell that you lived.
Sometimes, and it was kind of like chasing cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because there was a certain kind of procedure, and it was one of those scammy things. It wasn't me. Sometimes it is the customer.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they fuck up.
And sometimes you get so busy that you fuck up.
Right.
But usually, when you're doing a set of drinks, you're paying for the drink, so you want your money back. So you're going to get your money from the guy, and you're going to give him his money right then and there.
Right.
But certain individuals that I knew as waitresses who are no longer working at the bar because of their practices.
What they do?
They would do that. They would get multiple drink orders, tell the bar that they needed the drink orders. They get the drink orders, but they wouldn't pay the bar because you had to pay the bar when you got your drinks. Oh, I'll be right back with that money. And then you would take the drinks over, you get your money, and then you would forget to pay the bar, and then you'd forget to pay the customer, and then you have all kinds of cash on you because you're scamming both ends of the thing and hoping that the bar forgets that you didn't pay them for the drinks, and then you're hoping the customer forgets, and then somebody else will take that.
And it happens. It
happens all the time. And the one particular girl, she got away with it a lot up until they started demanding. Like, I always paid for my drinks before I got my drinks.
Right.
And a lot of customers are like, oh, can I put that on card?
No. Well, if I can hold on to your card, I'll take your card.
Well, what would happen is that you would pay from your bank for those drinks, and you had to ask the customer, are you paying cash or credit before you got your drink order? That way you knew not to fuck up on your order, because then you'd have to make that money up.
Okay.
As a waitress. Right. And so it happened all of the time. And so the one waitress, she was able to work the system like that, and she scammed people out of cash. And then at the end of the night, of course, she didn't have any money. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't make any money. So then she's scamming the doorman like Steve or Mr. Slow.
He's not making any money.
He's not making any money because she's telling them she didn't make any money.
Boo-hoo. Yeah.
Right, so it's a big scam. All scammers are going to scam.
Yeah.
Scammers are going to scam.
And they don't feel guilty about it.
They don't care. It doesn't hurt their bottom line because they're going to be taking care of their own scammy self. And so when it caught up to, Steve or Mr. Slow or the people that were in the bartenders, things got locked down. Like, no, all right, before you get these drinks, I need you to pay me for these drinks. And the bartenders would hold those drinks, and she would just complain. Well, I need those drinks. Well, yeah, I'm sure you need those drinks, but I need the money from you for those drinks. I get you. Either figure out.
But normies don't know that.
Yeah,
they don't know about our personal banks and what's owed to the company.
Right. They just think that we get drinks for free.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't happen.
No.
Everything's accounted for, even in the smaller clubs.
That's really funny. It reminds me about the Olive Garden. Olive Garden caught on to this a long time ago. They caught on to this. And I hate that fucking job. Hey, great food. Don't work there because they take advantage of your ass. So the Olive Garden does their unlimited soup and salad during lunchtime period.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, anyone that works there, if you're a server, now of course you want to work the nighttime because you make a shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. But if you work in there, you work in the daytime too. And soup and salad sucks. As everybody comes in within an hour, and everybody wants soup and salad, and they keep eating soup and salad because they're not getting full because it's soup and fucking salad. Pixie, you can't get full on soup and salad. It's not possible. It's just water. It's not helping you, okay? So we're running our asses off, getting these people's...
And they're staying longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah, no.
They're totally taking up your table. They're taking up your section. So...
Every server hates soup and salad. But there was a time there that the servers found out that most people came in either for coffee and hot tea and unlimited soup and salad, and there only be 2 or 3 of them at a time, that they started just reusing their same checks.
Oh, wow.
So table 4 comes in, and it's unlimited soup and salad and a hot tea, 2 hot teas. Table 8's got the same thing, so I'm going to give them the same check. And what money comes in to pay for the meal goes in my pocket.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
OG picked up on this a long... this is one of those backroom secrets where a lot of the OG servers were doing that, running the same check on multiple tables and pocketing that bill.
Because they're not really like looking at what's
No,
coming
you
in.
got the same check coming in. People are cheap. They will order the same thing.
Yeah.
You would have checks that came in and just had waters and soup and salad. That's all they had.
Yeah.
Because they came in for $5.99 per person, and
Yeah.
that's all they had. And they left you $1 after
Or
running
less
you for
sometimes.
half an hour to
Yeah.
an hour. So.
That's another scammy thing.
Yeah,
It's
scammy, right?
Somebody's gonna tell you, hey, look, serve me these drinks, and then after the bill, I'll tip you. You know?
Well, not super
and then sometimes they wouldn't even tip you because
Yeah.
they didn't have any money. They had just enough for the alcohol, so it's not really scammy. It's just them being
No, it's
cheap.
scammy.
It's them being cheap.
If you're going out and you know that you're going to be served by somebody, take extra.
Yeah, just make sure you can go down to the
You
liquor
know how
store
much it
and get
costs,
alcohol.
plus $2.
Well, I like when people ask me how much to tip them.
Yeah,
$1 per drink. That's what I tip everybody.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
If I'm going out with somebody, we get 2 drinks.
Yeah.
You're gonna be serving me. That's a sign of a good waiter, is to make sure that the drink is always
full.
always full,
Yep.
always fresh.
Can I get you another?
Yeah, that's the easiest way to make money.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna drink as much as possible.
Man, drunks don't even notice when you're pouring their wine. Can I refill that for you? Ka-ching!
Yes.
Hey, can I refill that for you again? Hey, you're
Right.
looking a little low. You want some more? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Ka-ching!
Exactly, and it's the easiest way to make money for the house.
Yeah.
Because
And then you have to tip me a percentage of how much you bought that evening, because that's protocol.
yeah,
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to. It's
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
But you're supposed to.
Well, this has been an interesting development on the skeezy scammers of our, generations.
I think we hit everything.
I think this is a good episode.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs for today?
No. Oh, that's really good. No, I'm meeting all kinds of people on Twitter, but I love Twitter. Okay, I love
working
Twitter.
so
I'm having
much.
so much fun on Twitter, but I can't interact as much as you do.
Right.
I can't.
You're on at night. Yeah.
So I'm doing the Instagram thing, and people seem to be happy on that, So whatever I do on Instagram, I'm doing on Twitter too. But until the workload kind of drops off at this place, I am so fucking busy. And man, I'm the night shift.
Right.
I put out a funny meme every day.
I know. I think you're doing fine.
Thank you.
My 2 shout outs. I would like to shout out the Porn Stash. Because they're hilarious. And if you guys don't
They're
know.
my boys, dude.
They post some seriously funny memes. And they make fun of a lot of porn parodies.
Yeah.
If you guys remember our episode of porn parodies, that's their whole.
That's what they do.
That's their whole podcast, and it's funny, and they're interactive, and they're just great.
Yeah.
And then the other person I want to shout out is Derek from the Ratchet Book Club. I went on to his one of his he owns like 5 different podcasts, and one of them was
8 different podcasts?
He's been,
Good Lord, there's a lot of jobs.
He's been doing a lot of podcasting for a long time. And so what he had was 4 of us podcasters come on and tell a story. And we didn't know what anybody else told the story. We got to hear like the part of the story before us, but we didn't get to hear the next part of the story.
Okay.
So it's an interactive story between 4 podcasters telling a story. So if you guys get the chance, the Ratchet Book Club, he reads all kinds of like hood class, ratchety books.
Okay.
And he's hilarious. He's a fantastic podcaster, a very real individual. And if you don't like him, you don't like him, and I don't care because I like him. So
Man, all of us are rare. Every one of us. And now that you remind me, I should give a special shout out to a couple people. Big Nick.
I love Big Nick
on Twitter.
Because, all right, so me and Nick, we did the topless at 10K because I hit 10K followers.
Topless at 10K?
Topless at 10K.
Did you go on camera with your titties out?
So we were pushing each other.
Did he go out on camera with his titties out?
Hold on. So we were pushing each other to get to 10K. We were at like 9K at the same time, and we're just talking to one another. We're hyping each other up. Like, don't forget to follow Nick because he's gonna get topless at 10K. He gets topless at 10K after I do. But he goes full on nipples, full on.
He didn't even put the spinnies on there.
It was like this. It was all chest,
That's
man
awesome, dude.
nipples with the, the boobies and everything.
He should have put little spinners on there.
He should have put little spinners on it. And so when I went, for me for topless at 10K, I did like this real alluding like I was topless. I was topless, but. Like the microphone was in front of this nipple and like my coffee cup was in this nipple. I had my headphones on. I'm smiling.
You didn't even let them see the nipple?
No! I said topless. I didn't say nipples out at 10K.
I got burned.
I was spicy yet nicey, And it was hilarious. And
it's not titty without the nipple.
It was a good time. So now I'm trying to get everybody else to do the topless at 10K.
Really?
And some people aren't doing topless at 10K.
Like fun.
It is.
No, I love it.
It is. So now people are doing topless at 1K because they're not even at 1K yet.
Right.
One person was like, "I'll show my ass at 5K. Just get me there." Like full on man ass because he's got a tattoo on his butt. He's all like, just do topless at 5K. So
damn, I want to do something outlandish to get 5K. No, 10K.
Are you
10K?
But you're not at 1K yet. So we need you to do something to get you to 1K followers.
Hey, those of you that haven't seen the Patreon clip yet, which will come out eventually, about the pierced dong, I could make that happen because that's unusual.
It is. Yeah.
That's unusual. But I would have to be guaranteed 10K. So, just putting some whispers out there, y'all.
Yeah. Help Mr. J get to 10K.
I'm just a cheap hoe.
You are just a cheap hoe. This has been a great show.
I had fun today, man.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out. Like I said, I'm not really doing too much on the internet. I'm trying to get up there as much as I can. But follow us on Facebook, Next on Stage 1. When I'm on Twitter or Instagram, I'm Mr. J.
At Next on Stage 1.
Next on Stage 1.
And I'm Pixie at Next on Stage 1 on both of those, Instagram and Twitter. But Twitter is my thing. Twitter's my jam. If you're trying to get a hold of me on Instagram, I'm kind of lazy. So
and we connect with each other. Whatever you see from her, you're seeing from me.
Yeah. If you're trying to email, you're going to reach Jay. Yeah. He might not respond right away.
And find that on Linktree. That's the best way to find our email.
So if you're trying to scam our Instagram or Facebook, you're going to get ignored. Because we do. We get a lot of people that are trying to scam our podcast.
Everybody, hey, would you like me to sell? I can get you 10,000 followers. Guaranteed. No, motherfucker. No, I'm not giving you fucking money.
We're doing this
natural, dude.
Organic. We're doing this one person on one.
Each one of you, if you know a stripper, hang out with a stripper, you're fucking a stripper, just... Hey, you're going to love this show. The show's fun.
Yeah, this is a great conversation between two friends who just happen to be adult entertainment.
And a little cuckoo.
I'm not crazy. I'm normal, Jay. Yeah. There's nothing crazy about me.
Yeah, that's what the voices tell you.
Well, Big D calls them my imaginary friends in my head.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I had a great time. What about you?
I had fun today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Next on Stage 1, and my name is Pixie.
And I'm Mr. J.
And I hope you've had a great time talking about the scammers.
Talk hard, Denver.
Bye, guys.